Okay, a bunch of questions for you. First of all, let's start with the music. I detected, if I'm not mistaken, it's a flute that is playing during the course of the production. So talk to me a bit about why you chose to use that sort of music to accent your film.
First of all, I want to say that it's not the traditional flute.
Oh,
Yeah, it's called ney, and it's a traditional Egyptian instrument. So I selected it because it's history, and also we used to hear it in Egypt in several concerts. Uh, also, it was my choice to use a monotone solo with the ney player to reflect the insights of the young girl. Usually the ney and also another version of it, it's called kawala, another instrument. Both were used to make these high notes to reflect the insight of the screaming girl. She's suffering from bleeding and from early marriage and denying her rights. For me, it was like someone who is screaming, who is trying to find help. That's why I chose this instrument.
okay. It's a little different filming in other countries than it is here in the United States. If you could please talk a bit about your experience being an international filmmaker, what are some of the biggest challenges for you? And do you think you'll come to the United States to film something?
I think that art doesn't have any nationality. It's my own vision. But I live in Egypt, so I was inspired from Egyptian stories and Egyptian traditional art. That's what make my experience. So also that's why you feel like it's an Egyptian film. Sure. Already, I have screened this film in Iran. They also have children marriage. It was not a screening; it was a semi-finalist. The programmer told me that he saw hundreds of girls like my girl. So although this film was in Egypt, but you can feel that it can be in Iran, or it can be in Tunis, or in any Middle Eastern country.
Well, and to most of us who live in the United States, of course, just the idea of child marriage is just shocking, obviously, because, you know, that doesn't happen, of course, and children are children, etc. You picked the most beautiful child to portray this. Talk to me a bit about how you selected her to do the role, and tell me a bit about how we had talked about how her face and her shoes, and she uses her whole body to try to tell the story for us.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that it's illegal to marry children in Egypt.
Right.
That the marriage age must be more than 18. It's a must. Okay. But they have their ways to make this happen in Baghdad. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it's illegal. Sure, it's illegal. About Minna Hossein.
Yes.
I have met about 22 girls for casting before the film.
Okay.
Yeah, but I selected her. She has an Egyptian features. Also her thin body. I also was searching for fresh features. Especially the eyebrows and the eyes were like were not organized. Her eyebrows or
I think I know what you mean. They fit to the culture and the story.
Yeah,
okay,
she's
sure.
still a child with the nature of children, without makeup, without any ads. But we enforce her to be an aged woman, not just a child.
Okay.
And that's why I liked her. I loved her film.
Was she easy to direct? Because she just looked so playful and so full of life and spirit and excited. And maybe it was just the part, but what was it like to be actually creating with her?
Menna was very professional. I also tried to make her feel the feeling of the early marriage, although she's living in city. She was not enforced to be married. So I tried to make her feel the same feelings, like the same sadness, in a similar way, like مثلا to tell her how do you feel مثلا when your father is angry from you. So she starts to act like this feeling. That's how was I directing her in this way. To get similar situation, but that's how she understands how those girls in the country feel.
Okay. One of the, or I should say a few of the people that have watched the film were a bit confused about the part. You put it seems like you put a bit more emphasis on the scene with the fur. Remember how they're outside and they're shaving and all of the fur that's present there? Could you explain that a bit? Because it seemed a bit confusing. Some of the people that watched it weren't understanding the significance to it.
Yeah. It's the traditional way how we make the bride, how we prepare the bride for marriage. But of course, she won't be a child. The shaving and the makeup. Of course, it was we was overreacting it to give the impression of how she was enforced. But it's the traditional way how we prepare a marriage in Egypt, how we prepare a bride, with also the drawing on the hand, which is called henna. It's planet that make the color in Egypt. Not all the actors in this film were not real actors. Only Menna, the girl, she was a professional actor. All the people were the real people from the country. I went to the country in Chobramant, and I asked for I met Ali. She's the wife who we saw her hands as a mother of the girl.
Yes.
She was playing she was acting like the mother. She's a real mother in this country, and this is her real home. And we saw her children also. I told her if I would love to make a marriage party in your home, what should I make? She started by we should only rent the dress and the white scarf for the head of the bride. So we went to her cousin and rent her and rent her niece rent us the white I swear for the bride. We called it Egypt Tarha, and went to the hairdresser in the country. She's a real hairdresser, and asked her to get her real makeup, how she make it like any bride, how she prepares the bride. And told her what we would make. She told me we got the drum and start singing this her sound, and we make the henna to draw the colors. So also I asked her if you are preparing to marry your daughter. She told me that she has the kitchen tools stored in her home for her daughter. So I asked her how do you store these pots? She told me that they are under the table. So it was a real shot from a real place without.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Well, and the other thing is, are you trying to show this little girl as someone who is leading towards a life of, I feel like there are shades of, you see her happiness and then it turns to fear. And then in some moments she's content and then all of a sudden it becomes as though her world is caving in. So I feel like she's almost two people in this film, if you will. I'm not sure if you meant to do that again intentionally, but it almost seems like the little girl that started is almost kind of by the end of the film, almost defeated to her own destiny, if that makes sense.
For me, I started to focus on the young girl.
Mhm.
The mother was just a hand. The mother was enforced to make something not from her mind, but she go with the traditional the traditional process to marry her, but she don't have her own opinion. She don't have her own ideas to make her own decisions. So for me, I don't want to see her. She don't have any ideas. She don't have any opinions. So I neglected the mother and focused on the young girl because we still have an opportunity to change the life of this girl, but we don't have. I think for me, yani, we don't have an opportunity to change the mother's mind.
Sure, I've gotcha. Tell me about the title. That's an interesting title. So again, can you explain that to me? And is there significance to that in some way?
Yeah, it's called Coffin DeCollette. Décolleté, it's an décolleté that doesn't have a call. It's we used to say this word in Egypt as a we sometimes in Egypt we use some francophonic words like décolleté. So I selected this word from our Egyptian glossary to be used because we usually say this in Egypt. Usually the bride wear a white dress, and also the coffin is white. So that's how the white dress for the bride, now it's not a white dress, it's a coffin. I was inspired by a young girl. She's not Egyptian, she lives in Yemen. I read about her. She was 9 years old. Not in Egypt, usually the early marriage starts from 13, 15. We usually don't marry in this early age. But the girl in Yemen, I was inspired by her. She was 9, and after marriage, she was bleeding till death. She was bleeding, so that's why I choose this title for the film. Like you are going to kill this girl. Yeah, it's a coffin, not a white dress for the bride.
Right. Now, tell everybody a bit about how the film has done. When did you actually release the film? And then did you take it to various festivals? Did it end up getting distribution? What happened with it?
Yeah, the world premiere was in Rio de Janeiro, 19 about not 2020 but 2019. Yeah, since 2 years now. Till now, we have celebrated in more than 100 festivals.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And this is one of our awesome festivals. Your awesome festival. Thank you for interesting me.
Oh, of course.
We are in 33 countries. We own about 12 awards in Canada, New York. Also in New York, we got 2 awards.
Nice.
One of them were for the music. You asked about the music.
Yes.
And Canada, Australia, Turkey. I work with a great team and they deserve all the best. They
Oh
are
my
very
gosh.
talented team.
How incredible is that? My gosh. Goodness, that's incredible. A female filmmaker going to all those, any filmmaker going to all of those different places is incredible.
Sorry. I want to thank my distributor.
Yes.
It's Ayana Film, Mr. Saad Hindawi and Mr. Baha El Dahabi. They worked very hard to help me to distribute my film.
Thank you so much for letting me show this film and talk about this, of course, and share it with an audience.